flat pink, just like this piece, and you press, your thumbprint should be visible for no longer than 2 seconds. Good. Nice and slippery. So those are no lymph membranes. And then we'll slide back and feel in between the jawbones here. This is where their submandibular lymph nodes lie. And so we'll take a little feel of those. They usually feel like a little chain of raisins / grapes. Not very big. So they shouldn't be large. They shouldn't be painful. There shouldn't be a lot of edema down here.
And they're in the crevice or more along the
So if you feel this jawbone here and then one on the other side, you can kind of run your hand down right in the middle. And those are actually not small.
I don't feel any of them. Oh, I feel something there.
Just little lumpy bumpies.
Right here? Right there?
Got it? This right here, most people don't actually feel this. This is your facial artery. I know, you can feel a pulse here if you have really sensitive fingers.
Oh, okay. So I feel something right down Broadway there.
There you go. Right down Broadway is right.
Okay. So yeah, hers are like almost like grape, more grape.
They are. So she's less raisin and more grape. Very good. But still okay.
Okay.
And then, you certainly don't have to do this, but we'll see how their jugular veins fill. And then we get our stethoscope out and listen to her heart.
Okay.
And her lungs. And her trachea. And then we'll listen to her GI sounds, which if you're waiting for, if you're looking at your horse because you're concerned that they're colicky, the two things that if you're able to do, the two things that are probably going to be most useful bits of information for triage is, can you hear anything? Doesn't matter where it is, anything. And what's the heart rate?
Okay. So what do you think about like Ash? At all times, you can hear it. He is grumbly in there all the time. Is this a good thing? Is this? Yeah. So it's good to hear it.
Yep, it's good to hear it. It is good to hear it.
So any gut sound is good.
Yes,
And no matter where you listen.
Yep. So the most will be a pretty ominous finding is if you hear nothing anywhere, and nothing tends to be pretty repeatable. So if I listen to her, and you listen to her, and you listen to her, we're all likely to get the same answer. If it's anything else, you and I and me and Jenna are likely to have different opinions on it. So
and there's
everything
not
else is
like,
pretty
listen for 10 seconds. I mean, you don't know. It's all a question mark. Because I know I'm always like, and then I don't know.
It's very, very subjective. It's also affected by the horse's fed state. So if we are to, say we have a horse that comes into our hospital that's been fasted for 18 hours because it's going to have a stomach scope, it's going to have really attenuated gut sounds just by virtue of taking its feet away for 18 hours. So it's very affected by fed state. But anything other than nothing is very subjective. The other thing is, you want to know whether there's some there, but you also would like to know, what do you hear? Is it mostly gas? Does it sound like a drop of water in a balloon kind of shaking around in there? Does it sound like Niagara Falls? Is it mixed gas fluid, which is normal? So not only do you want to know yay or nay, but you'd like to know what character are they as well. Okay. Temperature should be in a horse standing at, you look like most of them don't.
98.9.
98.6. It's funny, if we have those, we often get our digital thermometers from CVS, and some of the ones that have the little yellow and red signals to them when it reads the temperature and it says it's really high. If it's greater than 101, it comes up red, which technically a fever, but we don't usually get too worried about that. Apparently that's bad if you're a horse. It's not that bad if you're a horse, but technically for an adult horse in a thermoneutral environment that they haven't been recently working, their body temperature should be less than 101 degrees. So the vast majority of horses, if you take their temperature, it'll be in the 98, 99, or lower, 97, 96, because they've got a little air in their rectum, or the end of the thermometer is in a fecal ball, or something like that. We think that rectal temperature is a pretty insensitive way of assessing what core temperature is in an adult. Core temperature is very far away from the distal rectum. But if it's high here, it's probably legitimately high here. If it's low here, essentially or not. But it's certainly a useful thing to do. Everyone has digital thermometers in their car. I know you guys do.
Maybe not.
I've got one with a ribbon on it.
Exactly. So then you would come back on the right side, or the side where it was opposite you started, and listen to the GI sounds on this side, listen to the lungs, listen to the heart, and then you'd want to feel the feet, and feel the digital pulses, make sure that they weren't increased in any way. And that's a pretty basic physical exam. It's pretty, I mean, what I recommend you do is just do it repeatedly on a lot of different horses and get comfortable with it. And that way you get particularly if you do it serially on your own horse, you get an idea of what's normal and what's not, and you can pretty easily pick up abnormal things.
Instead of just worrying.
Well,